Ba boom bum ba boom bum boom ba dum boom boom ba boom bum ba boom bum ba boom bum. But I am
Something is certainly happening. We are recording and we're broadcasting the shir. And have a rabbi called into the conference room. Do you want to use this phone?
I am in conference.
The shir is now, and rabbi is in the conference room. There's nothing there? Okay, try it. They're there now, and rabbi's called.
When was he not? Really?
See, they were just there. Yeah. Okay. Very well.
Well, try to call Baruch. Is Baruch there?
That's Baruch.
Okay, Baruch, happy birthday from Daniel.
That was somebody else.
No, that wasn't Baruch.
That was somebody else. Not
So
using
Baruch
this.
is not there.
Yes, he spoke to me.
Baruch always sings in tune.
Okay.
It's from his days on the stage.
Baba.
Okay, we're ready to
Yeah. Sounds like Honey Yosef.
I hope that's something from
trying to find a parking place.
platform. What?
I think he's trying to find a parking place. There's the indicator. Maybe not.
So we are towards the bottom of the page, something like 10 lines from the bottom. The line begins, the Hainu his havos a noiga.
You're a little above that, aren't you?
His havos a noiga.
I thought you only got the Piru, but you went to the end.
Achonasu nifrodim legamri, the Hainu his havos a noiga. Spoke about noiga, which is klipa.
Noga is Klipa? Klipa Noga.
Klipat noiga, right.
What does Noga mean?
Translucent.
Mm-hmm.
Translucent?
Yeah, but some light coming through. A bright klipa.
Translucent?
Okay. Yes. So this is the union of Vesa Sphera is the ban.
Here, the sphere is, we're going to listen to it on speaker.
So you can start off in the highest madrigas of Kedusha, but due to the inherent element of Yeshus, of self-presence, it can then disintegrate into all the way into Klippa.
Where does this word ban come from?
Ban?
Ban, where does it come from, the word itself?
Ban is a numerical value. It's a base num or num base, 52.
Oh, that's why it's called ban.
Mm-hmm.
And 52 is?
This is one of the conjugations of the Shem Havaya.
Oh, okay.
And we explained that ban has the numerical value of the word behema. And here we explained that because the spheres ban come from the sphere, it comes out through the sphere of Malchus. There's an element of Yeshus. Omnom. But then, however, as a sphere is the man, there's another set, so to speak, another world of Esespheres. And that's called Esespheres the Ma. I felt sometime in reflecting that I should again clarify a certain principle. The principle of Yesh and Ayin, which we are constantly involved with. Ayin means not a non-entity, not a presence. Yesh means an entity, a presence.
What is non-entity?
Ayin.
Ayin.
What does it mean it's a non-entity? It doesn't exist. Not existing. There's nothing positive can be said about something that doesn't exist. The principle that we must bear in mind, and from time to time reflect on it and understand, to understand what we're learning in context. Going back to what we discussed this week, extensively, I would think the principle that Rambam says that the basis of all Chokhmah is that there is a first being, Motzu Rishon, a first being, and we always point out that this first being changes our entire perspective on existence. Because our perspective of existence, as we always point out, is first there is no, and then comes yes. And this inyan, that every presence is preceded by non-presence, means to say that if we would look at this presence from an essential perspective, there's nothing there. Essentially, it is there only because it makes itself known. It insists I'm here. This is the way things are in the world perceived from a worldly perception, from a worldly approach. Again, we should understand this very well because the whole theory of evolution is based on this. The theory of evolution is based on reaction. You bother me, I'm going to hit you back. All activity, all attempt to excel and to improve and to rise and to develop is all based on this reactionary quality. Otherwise, from the perspective of the world itself, the world can go to sleep and no one will know the better. Who cares? As long as you don't bother me, I have a
Okay,
slight
yeah.
speech here.
You're not on mute.
This is one of the great challenges. I talk to people all the time. All the time I, coming from different angle. This kid says to me, "Why should I do anything?" Fits perfectly into the world mentality. What's the expression? Don't trouble trouble until trouble troubles you. Anything you undertake to do is trouble. Right? A challenge. The minute you say a word, next guy next to you was going to say, "Hey, you don't know what you're talking about." Trouble. So I better be shut up, not say anything. Why do I need him to attack me and to criticize me? I won't say anything. That's perfect worldly mentality. Unless there's a reason. Who knows? If I don't say anything, maybe he'll say and he'll overtake me and he'll be... All this is we are very, very familiar with this.
Who is that saying? Don't trouble till trouble troubles you?
Mm-hmm. Okay. Wait for the next poet. So comes Torah and says, you're making a mistake. That is not the truth. Not only is it not the truth of the world, not only is it not the truth of the true existence, this is not the truth the way you yourself perceive existence to be. And the fact that you're not aware of this is because you haven't awakened yourself to your true perspective, to your perception. You not really think with your own true intelligence. You're thinking, what we say over here, sweet as the bomb, on the yeshus level, not on the truth level. How do I know this? I know this because from any time that we present a real essential question, we'll get a completely different answer. An essential question. What's a human being? Is human life worth more than its functionality? Or is human life measured by functionality only? As for example, right? And the answer invariably is no. Human life is sacrosanct. It's holy. It's not functional, dependent. It's not measured by some functionality. As long as he breathes, wow, this is a living person. Don't touch him. Or else you'll never be able to answer before the Beis Shamayla. You'll never be able to clear yourself. You commit no more than murder, God forbid. What's in it? What's in it is this. There is a first being. A true first being. All existence has a positive element coming from this first being. And who is aware of it? This little human being who is hardly breathing. He is aware of this. And this is why you have to stand in awe in His presence. This is what we are coming now to discuss. There's Eshes Spheres the Ma. The Ma. Eshes Spheres the Ma means beetle. The word Ma, again, Ma has a numerical value of Mem Hey, has a numerical value of Odom and so forth. But the word Ma per se as a word in Lashon Kodesh means what? Meaning it lacks self-promotion. It's not based on self-promotion. It's based on reality. Ma. Which means, I'll be saying, in the primary truth itself, there is Eshes Spheres. These Eshes Spheres are not self-promoting. They're not dependent on being promoted. These are principles of initial truth. Where is initial truth come into the world? It's not from the evolutionary process of the world. It's from a creator, from a true being. Amitis Himotsu. Okay? So this said, I want to get into in learning about this. Omnam Eshes Spheres the Ma. Okay, again, we are towards the bottom of page Ches, approximately 10 lines and 9 lines from the bottom. The line begins, the Hainu his Havas Amik. So Omnam. However, in truth, there is another set of Eshes Spheres. It's called Eshes Spheres the Ma. Hey, those are. It's a call from you. Eshes Spheres Hagnuzois B'ma Atzilon. These are the 10 spheres, Eshes Spheres Hagnuzois, that are treasured. B'ma Atzilon, within their source. B'hainu, which means to say, Shaloi nes lo liyes b'his galus. That they were not identified, separated, emanated. Liyes b'his galus. For the purpose here is a very nuanced expression. Which means, okay, I want to walk you through these 4 words. I'd like you to see how nuanced this whole writing over here is. Normally we would say, Shalei Netzlu b'his galus. They did not emanate b'his galus to a state of to an open and a revealed state, which means that they didn't emanate; they remained in their source. That's not what it says. It says they did not emanate to be b'his galus, which means they did emanate, but their emanation is not the kind of emanation that is intended and that demands to be b'his galus, to be revealed. Because if they didn't emanate, they're part of the source. As a sphere as the Ban also exist in the source, and they are completely not yes. Here we're saying something else. We're saying, yes, indeed, they did emanate. But their emanation does not carry with it the impetus to be his galus. Now, I think it's almost empty, right?
Yeah.
But you bring it into my wife and ask her to
Okay.
fill it up, or you can fill it up, please.
Okay.
There's a cup there. The Nesu Lihis be his galus. That is a very profound statement. And we'll develop it as we go through.
An emanation that's not for the purpose of his galus.
No. What? do you mean? What?
So how do you translate these 5 verses?
The emanation is not a his galus type of emanation. Lihis be his galus. We explained before, today, the other day, we explained also a nuanced expression over here, but here's the BAM. That the inner of Yesh Adin of Yesh in as a spheres the BAM is a inherent element in the Esospheres, which means to say it's inseparable from the Yesh element is inseparable from the presence of the Esospheres, because this is the kind of Esospheres it is. Like we said in Malchus, the whole union of Malchus is the presence.
Is this the opposite of that?
This is right. This is the opposite. Lo netzlu b'liz b'chinas yesh. That is not the intent. That is not the meaning of this gilui, of this emanation.
It's interesting to think of an emanation or even a revelation does not have to do with
Right.
Yesh.
Right. Again, the whole Hemshech is going to be involved with this principle, but just to understand.
The whole Hemshech is going to be involved with what principle?
With the principle of the inherent reality. Just to give us a little touch of it, okay? Moshe Rabbeinu, his mother put him into a box and put it into the water, basuf. This box was made with gema. There was gema. What's gema? Gema is like rubber. Gema is a kind of a plant, of a tree, of a wood that is both hard and soft. And oime bifnei rach bifnei kosh. Rashi says, oime bifnei rach bifnei kosh. It protects, it resists. It has a resistance to something soft and to something hard.
How could that be? It say that again. It just say
It
again.
resists, oimed.
It resists
Rach
with soft.
against soft, and bifnei kosher and before something hard. A rock, like Rashi brings down, that Moshe Rabbeinu's stick that hit the rock that brought the water out, which is about tzur. The stick was made of a very hard stone. Such a hard stone that when you hit a regular stone, it just dug right into it. Batsu, into it.
The stick was made of stone?
Yeah. That stick has a history, right? Some pirin is some kind of a precious stone that is extremely hard, like a diamond. Diamond, on the principle diamond, it's very hard. Natural diamond is very hard. So this stone, so if something hard is okay, it will withstand it very hard, very strong. But if something is present, let's say this baby is in a hard box, and the box is traveling and hitting something hard, what happens? Let's say this box will not crack, but will produce a real shake because it hits hard, and the baby will wake up. It'll be really shaky. But if the box has a softness to it, it can hit something, and it will not resist instantaneously, jump back. It will allow itself to be pressed against the object and then press back, and in a very amicable way, it will resist this hit.
Or it absorbs the shock.
It'll absorb the shock. Huh? Like a hard rubber. It cannot be a soft rubber. It has to
Cork?
be
A dense rubber.
Could it be cork?
Strong,
Huh?
dense rubber.
Could it be cork?
cork, whatever. It doesn't. We don't know exactly. I don't know exactly what it is.
So Gomer,
It's a natural. Huh?
I think Gomer is.
Gomer.
They translate it as pitch, which is tar.
No,
but
no.
It could be like a resin. from
No.
a-
Tar was it
A layer.
There was a layer on top of it.
Right.
No, but the material itself is
Oh.
gomer.
Oh, the material itself is Gomer.
Mm-hmm. Okay, let's focus in. What is the point of this discussion? There is a certain quality to material. It's a piece of material, a piece of physical material, but it has a certain depth, certain richness to it. It can resist all kinds of different effects. This inherent richness, this is what we call inherent quality. Multiple qualities contained within one. Hard and soft, bright and resistant to brightness, so that it doesn't overwhelm, it doesn't blind you. So this is the concept, that there could be ne'etzah, something that is actually emanate, something that has a recognizable quality, but it's not liyis b'bchinas yesh. Not netzel to be a yesh, netzel to be a true presence. This is called Esesphiras Dama. The Esesphiras that are contained between the matzil, which means they contain within the source, showing the richness of the source. Not the ultimate capability of the source, but the richness of the source. The Friedrich Rebbe, since we are not after Yud Shvat, Friedrich Rebbe was not a menagim per se.
Was not a what?
A singer.
Uh-huh.
Different Rabbein, there were different stages. Like they said, someone once made a cheshbon that actually they alternated. The Alter Rebbe was a phenomenal menagim. The Alter Rebbe composed 10 songs, phenomenal songs. The Mittel Rebbe was not a menagim. Tzemach Tzedek was a menagim. The Rebbe Marash was not a menagim. The Rebbe Marashah was a menagim. The Friedrich Rebbe was not a menagim. Our Rebbe was phenomenal.
It alternates.
Alternated. Okay? The Rebbe, it's true or not true. Huh?
I laugh.
I'm sorry?
I just laugh.
Now, the Friedrich Rebbe was not a menagim. There are long sikhs in the Friedrich Rebbe where he discusses Negina and explains the quality of a certain Niguni at length, and describes not only the Nigun but how it is to be produced. The voice rises, the voice lowers, and there's a sweetness, and then there's a harshness. A whole spectrum, like a lesson in Negina. A lesson in Negina, a lesson in music, all kinds of different things. So the Friedrich Rebbe says like this, that to be a menagim, it depends. If she gives you a voice, you have a menagim. If you don't have a voice. But to have a chush in Negina, that's imperative. To have a sense of Negina is imperative to understand Chassidus. That is a must. I want to say a Yiddish word. The word chazon. You know what a chazon is? Everybody knows what a chazon is? So there's a Yiddish saying that chazon is ches, zayin, nun, which is an acronym of 3 words, Chazonim, Zayin, Naroim. Chazonim are fools. Chazonim, Naroim, Zayin, Naroim. So almost explained why is a Chazan a nar? Why is he a fool? I think it was from an authoritative source. Chazonim and Naroim, because Chazonim have a Chushin Negina. And the Heichal, the chamber of Negina is close to the chamber of Tshuva. So they are so close to the chamber of Tshuva, they don't jump across. They are fools. You're right there, so close, jump right in. I saw Zalman Baumgarten was once singing on the stage. It was a performance. Zalman Baumgarten was a stage. Zalman Baumgarten has a tremendous chushin negina from infancy. He was standing on the stage. All of a sudden, he started to cry. He's singing. He started to cry right on the stage. So, this element of Negina, this chush, this element of Negina, this is part and parcel of the person. This is not for the purpose of Gilui. It's not for the purpose. This is an inherent quality. This is the richness. This is the human richness. This is Negina. And that is of enormous significance, value. Okay, so this is the introduction to the Ayin that we are just about to get into here. How do we say that there's essence spheres and they're emanated, but not for the purpose of being Galus? What kind of emanation is it? It's an emanation within the Matzi, within the source. They are enriching the source. They are staying. This source is infinite in terms of its content, in terms of what it stands for. You can't tell anything. You can't tell anything in terms of external expression. You can tell, but not by specific expression. You can see there's something very rich in this person, something very real, but it does not come through as a specific sphere in terms of an act. As a matter of fact, he doesn't even know how to sing. He doesn't have a voice to sing. But he lives a deep, emotional, intellectual life. Okay, so let's go. I'm going again to where we started this evening. Omnam, as spheres the ma, hein ho as spheres hagnuses b'ma'atzilo. These are the spheres that are treasured in their source, ma'atzilo, in their emanator, so to speak. Again, I need to explain these. Then you go back, you see that something else needs to be pointed out. These spheres, the ma, emanated. As we said, they emanated. Where do they emanate from? From their source, from the emanator. The emanator doesn't consist of spheres at all. Doesn't consist of them. He is everything absolutely and doesn't consist of anything. Doesn't contain anything. This is amiti. This is what emes. Emes. Emes is everything and nothing. That's in Matzi. And then there is emanation from this source. He becomes an emanator. But that emanation is in such a manner that it treasured within the emanator. He treasures it. He treasures, so to speak, his own emanations. Gnuzes. Like a gniza, like you put things in the treasure. Behind, which means to say, I can state in these two lines. Let's break through. Behind, which means to say, they were not emanated. Lias be his galus to be his galus. That's not the purpose of their emanation. The emanation is for the purpose of being, of revealing, of bringing out what's in the emanator.
Bringing out what's in the emanator, but not really showing it as a presence.
Not showing the presence. It remains treasured in the emanator.
So, very self-contained.
Kiyim, rather, what is the purpose? What is the meaning of their emanation? Hareihem klulim b'yoyin soiv. They are remained incorporated in the oil in Soib Hamatzil, the emanator, ve'einam bebechinas mitzius klal. And it is, they are not in bebechinas mitzius klal. They're not bebechinas. You cannot test for them and say, is there that quality? You'll test from here to those, you won't find the quality. You don't have the bechina of that mitzius, of a presence.
Even though we said about the guy as a chush nagina that you can sense his reality, you can sense. Here it's no bechina.
Right. I will discuss that again also because you mentioned it, but in principle, all this misholim that I gave is not to approximate this inyan. It is to give us a sense of something that is there and not there.
Mm.
They remain incorporated in the inner that emanated them. They are not in a bechina mitzius. I said you can test for them, but not find a mitzius, not find a presence. What it means, I'll finish a sentence and then you'll see the answer to your question. Not that they are not b'mechinas mitzius, that there isn't that element. There isn't the mitzius of that element. What does that mean? And we are first going to identify it and explain inside, but I'm going to kind of preempt it. There is two ways of this expressing, let's say, a wise person. He has wisdom. He is not a fool. Has wisdom speaks about an active process of wisdom. Not a fool is a different stage. Not a fool means also he has wisdom, but not in a conscious and identifiable manner. He has wisdom when he needs it, so to speak. He's not a fool. In other words, it is not that he has wisdom, it is that he is not lacking. He does not have it, but he doesn't have it as a presence. That's meant the Ayin B'chinas Mitzius. Ukmei Sfiras HaChochma. As, for example, Sfiras HaChochma, there is Sfiras HaChochma. There is. In other words, we're talking about Sfiras HaChochma, one of them Sfiras. Eino Nira V'nigla Klal is not obvious and revealed at all, Liyez B'chinas Mitzius Dover, so that it would be in the quality of Mitzius Dover, of a presence. Something identifiable. Mitzius Dover, he has something. No, doesn't have it at all. V'harehu, and therefore it is, ki'ilu, the chokhmah is ki'ilu ein b'mitzius klal, as if he doesn't even exist at all. Ein b'mitzius klal. Does that mean that he is a fool? Does not chokhmah? No, it doesn't mean that at all. but it is not in the presence of Chochmah. Ki'ilu ein mtzias klal, u'kemaimer, and as the saying is, this is a saying, this is the way it is said, spoken about in the Zohar, kemaimer chakim v'lo b'chochmah yidiyah. Again, this is what we say every Friday night for those who don't mind breaking their teeth. So, Hakim v'lo b'chochmah yidiyah. He is wise, but not with a knowable, identifiable quality of wisdom. The wisdom is subtle wisdom. Wisdom is, as we said, it's not absent, but it's not present. You have, sometimes you see, again, this is a muscle to illustrate a certain point. You have someone who has a piece of information, and instantaneously you will know everything that he knows. You'll blurt it out. Two people are talking, discussing something. He will always bump in, and he's got something to say about it. Then there's a person who is counter to him, who's got a deeper sense of wisdom, and to get anything out of him, there really has to be some.
Rabbi Paltiel, could you just speak up a little bit, or else pull the phone closer?
Oh, I'm sorry. Okay. Well, I'm talking Lashon Hara, so I didn't want to speak loud. There's an element of the wise man that his wisdom is not written all over his. He's not constantly announcing his wisdom. He's contemplating. He's involved in the wisdom. He speaks when he needs to speak. For whatever purpose it is, not to show that he's got the wisdom. That doesn't interest him whatsoever. Why? Because his wisdom is in an inherent and much deeper level. It's treasured. It's a treasure. It's an insight. It's not a piece of information. It doesn't mean that. Just give us a little handle on this. Wise, but not with a knowable, identifiable quality of wisdom.
So that's a better level of wisdom when it's not identified?
It's a much deeper. It's not a better. Ultimately, we have to bring things. We have to bring things to his galus, not to expression, but it has to have an element of reality. All limudim chitzoniyim. Everybody knows what limudim chitzoniyim means? Limudim chitzoniyim, secular knowledge, is all chokhmah idiyah. Everything is very precisely known. If there is no knowledge, there's nothing to know. Chitzoniyim. External knowledge, secular knowledge. It's all based on something which is perfectly knowable. There's no subtlety. It's just Either or. In Chassidus, even in my morning from Rebbe, where he describes everything with such clarity and depth, there is very often expression, kol kach. It is not that much. And he doesn't go on to explain what it is. Because that he leaves to you, to your insight. Because it cannot be expressed. And we mentioned the other day which I said, tumah, impurity. What's tumah? Not an interesting thing. The most severe tumah, one of the most severe levels of tumah, is a mesach, is a lifeless human body. The body itself is not tumah, but it makes everything tumah. Body itself is not tumah. Interesting fact.
A dead body is not tummy?
Not tumah. But if you come in contact with it, you become tumah. And anything that comes in contact with it becomes tumah. If it is within a housing, everything in the house becomes tumah. And it itself is not tumah. I don't know what tumah is. And tumah has only significance for kedusha in Beis Hamikdash. Otherwise, it's no difference. What is it? What's kedusha? We can't really define it properly. Okay. Ki'ilu ain't a Metzias klal. This is the word ki'ilu, as if it were not a Metzias, but it is a Metzias. Wise without, not by a knowable, identifiable quality of chavism. And as it is written, as it says in Sefer Yitzira, Eser Sfiros Bli Ma, 10 Sfiros without a Ma, Kuli, which means Bli Mahus Dog, without a Mahus, without a real presence. Okay, so the Babylon needs a minion, right, David?
That would be great. Yep. It would be great if there's somebody in here. So,
How many do you need?
We need 2.
2. Yeah.
Okay, hold on. I'll let you know in a second.
Oh yeah? Who is that?
See.
3.
Yes,
Oh great.
three.
Thanks 3.
Do I dial in your bathroom?
No, 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 no,